What's up, everyone? It's me, Bob EG, and I'm back for another episode of Contraption Maker. And if you've been catching up with the last couple episodes, you know that the update gave some new official puzzles, and I must admit, they've been very difficult and they've been kicking my butt. So I'm a little worried as to progress, but we're going to do it anyway. I know we'll be able to get through it one way or another. The last one we did here was Kitty Captive, and boy, that took, I think, well over half an hour for me to finally solve. But next up is Security Screw Up, and let's see if we can do a little bit better on this one. Let's take a look here. Tinker just installed a new security system, but it locked him out. Classic Tinker. Open the gate so he can get back home. Okay, so it looks like here is our buddy Tinker. Here is the home that he'd like to get to. The bone will probably draw him over to the left-hand side, but one thing we have to do, of course, is raise this gate to allow him through. So, like we always say, let's see what the moving parts are. Not much, actually. The one thing that is nice to know is that the bone is already in the correct distance to get our buddy Tinker to try to chase it. So, alright. Well, let's just take a look here. Obviously, there is a laser that's going to have to get into the this little receptacle here to power this motor. However, okay, so the motor will most likely make this thing go over to the left, which in turn then, of course, will raise up the gate. Okay, so obviously the laser is going to need something to give it power. That's the only thing available, so that will do just the trick. Just trying to think, okay, good. There's a mirror, so what that makes me think is that we're probably going to need this generator and laser to be somewhere down towards the hamster wheel, because as you'll notice, there's only one conveyor belt thing. Conveyor belt. I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is, but well, of course we're going to need to power it somehow with the hamster wheel. So, what does that mean for us exactly? Hopefully we can position this in such a manner that we're only going to need one mirror. Well, I guess we have no choice really, though. Look at that. Wow. I'm not sure if this was in existence before, but it's really nice to know where the laser's going to go before I hit play on the puzzle. So that's that. That's that piece figured out. One of the things, of course, also is... Okay, well, obviously, there's only one rope. There's two rope pulleys, and I can't believe we can put a rope on our dog friend. Is that, I didn't even know that that was a thing. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even necessarily think that was going to happen. Wow, look at that. So the dripping water actually is what activates the hamster wheel. The only thing then, though, is that we're going to need to cut our friend free after the gate's been raised. So how are we going to do that? Obviously, we have a cannon, which is capable of shooting a cannonball. That could certainly hit the scissors and basically take care of everything for us. Now, the one thing I'm just trying to think, obviously an egg timer can help, because we can obviously set it to be quite long, in fact. Hopefully 8 seconds would be about the right amount of time we would need. So I wonder, does this all work? Will this bowling ball fall on the egg timer, then 8 seconds later it will kind of poke this lighter, which may or may not light the fuse, and then our scissors will get cut 8 seconds later, basically. So let's just try this one more time and see what we can do. There goes our dripping water, and hopefully in 8 seconds here the cannon will go. And alright, well, Tinker finally made it home. Wow, I will say compared to the last puzzle, that one was a breeze, so I'll take it when I can get it, that's for sure, folks. So alright, nice little puzzle there. On to the next one. Aerial Counter Combat. Alright, lots of blimps here. Blow up the bomb and all 3 dynamite sticks without blowing up any blimps. All right. Well, that sounds quite difficult, actually. What was that one more time? Blow up the bomb in all 3 dynamite sticks. So here's 1. Here's the bomb. 2, 3 dynamite sticks. Okay. Without blowing up any of the blimps. So we only really have 1 blimp that's kind of moving. So that's good, in a sense. Not sure what to say exactly. So, alright, let's just think about this one at a time. I'm not sure if we can really get away with thinking about things one at a time, but we can try. Okay, well, I have to think that this cannonball is going to be used to go onto this teeter-totter, which will probably have a rope tied to it. We have 2 ropes to work with. So, alright, so why don't we just hook up 1 conveyor belt from the generator to the conveyor belt. That's probably going to be good for now. However, how on earth are we going to get the hamster wheel to trigger? That's one thing I'm not sure of at the moment. That's for darn sure. Not sure of that's for sure. And here's another one with another hamster wheel kind of surrounded by brick. Okay. Just trying to think, obviously if this brick was not here, the blimp would be able to trigger the hamster wheel. But I'm not sure about that at the moment. So, okay, is there anything to plug into this generator? Let's try to think about this one step at a time. Obviously there is a sweeper, there is a motor. The motor may be what we're interested in. Not 100% sure, but something like that, perhaps. Okay. How are we going to get this piece of dynamite lit is another question. That is another question. We have 4 magnifying glasses, so that's actually going to be pretty useful for sure. Probably something like that. But the one thing, of course, with this light bulb is that it's going to have to... Okay, maybe something like that. There's another teeter-totter here, though. I'm not sure what that one's going to be used for. I don't think we have anything really going yet. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Just this balloon popping. And for some reason, I almost feel like we should be trying to prevent that. Just because it seems kind of silly. Seems kind of silly to have a balloon popping for no particular reason. So maybe we can get rid of this. Maybe put something like, but what is that going to help? I'm kind of thinking out loud and not completing my thoughts here. Let's just put that the way it is for now. We do have a piece of scissors, which I do think is probably going to have to be used to let this blimp free at some point. Just because I don't know how else this hamster wheel will get triggered. So, I still don't think we have anything actually in motion, which is kind of interesting. We may as well just kind of... alright, well that's not doing anything for us either, is it? I'm going to reset the puzzle because I really need to think about this a little bit extra. We can of course have something along these lines. We don't even really need all these gears up there. That will do the trick just fine, as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell, this jack-in-the-box with one belt, without all these gears, will certainly hit this teeter-totter, hit the flashlight. So, that's fine. No big deal there, really. No big deal there, really. And now let's just try to think about this a little bit. Don't see where this scissors could be used, except for right here. So I think we're pretty safe in putting it there. This blimp is obviously going to get set free and do something for us. But what could that be? I still think it's this double lighter. I still think that's what it is. Or potentially, maybe we don't need these scissors here. Let's just think about this for a second. If we have a motor hooked up here with one of the belts, this cannonball will most likely hit this, and we don't ever have to set that free. Let's see, do we have that much going? No. Of course we don't. Why would we? And hopefully the flame is far enough away to not explode that blimp. So we're just kind of trying to think about this puzzle from a different angle. Get some things to work almost the same, but just with a little twist, because we're obviously not doing something perfectly here. We're not getting something right. We're not getting something quite right. The light has to get turned on somehow. It absolutely has to get turned on somehow. And now we're right back to this would work. If we had a way to light this, of course. But maybe we can get the win condition to spark well before all of this takes place. But we still need a rope. We still need a rope to basically we can't put one of these bands on the lighter, no. So where is our nearest source of light? Nowhere particular. Yep, so we're left with not knowing how to light the initial stick of dynamite without having a rope tied onto it. Okay. Is there anything in the act of getting sucked up into a sweeper that will benefit us here? No, I don't see what that could be at the moment. And we're really limited as to where we could even use it. Like, I guess we could use it here, but that's not helping. I guess we could use it over here, but that's, you know, getting the balloon sucked up, or the blimp sucked up into the vacuum. What is that going to do? Don't see what that will do for us either. So are we resigned to the fact that we don't see a way to light this piece of dynamite without using a rope to pull this lighter? I'm not sure that we have a way around that. I'm really not, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay. This is a tough one, guys. We obviously need this hamster wheel to get triggered. But maybe this can all happen fast enough. So this blimp could hit the hamster wheel. This blimp could do it if we explode this long before this gets cut, right? Maybe we're onto something here. This blimp is obviously going to take a moment to get over here and cut the rope, and this will take a moment to get over here. So if we can make this explode well before all that happens, this blimp will eventually go over to the hamster cage and hit it. That will start the rest of the chain of events that we've been missing. Not only that, that will free up a rope. That will free up a rope to turn this light on, the missing piece from last time. Oh my goodness, I feel like we're almost there. So. We have... Don't even know what we have. Let's just see what we got. Let's do it slow as well. Okay. Okay. And the only thing that did not... Okay, the only thing, of course, that did not get powered was this generator, which makes complete sense, because we didn't power it. So let's just try that again. There we go. The only thing is, let's get this motor going the other direction so that this cannonball hopefully hits this lighter. Let's see if all that happens. Oh! And unfortunately, there is part of our problem. There is part of our problem, because we needed that piece of dynamite right here to go a lot quicker. Maybe we can switch this back around. Maybe this is where the gears come in. Maybe this is where the gears come in. A little something like this, perhaps. Can we... Okay, perfect. Because we need this to happen very quickly. So if we hook up these gears, this might happen quicker. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, so we want to turn this around. The sooner that this all happens, the better. Oh, okay. We're not out of the game yet. The blast kind of made the blimp second guess itself. Here we go. And we just forgot one magnifying glass. So, okay. Let me see if I could talk this out, since I think we finally have it. And this is another long puzzle that I think took me about a half an hour. These are very, very difficult, but I am enjoying them once you eventually figure them out. So, let's just try to talk about this here. Obviously, this balloon is just going to pull this rope and pop itself. That's fine, because it'll pull the lighter with the rope here. It'll kind of take out the little wheel, or whatever you want to call it, and make this piece of dynamite explode. This, of course, will trigger this hamster cage to make this cannonball go over here, which will turn the light on. It'll also power the generator, which will power this motor, which will hopefully get this cannonball to slam into the lighter. That, of course, will go through the magnifying glass and light this piece of dynamite with enough time to spare that this blimp won't necessarily be too close to it, and it will survive the blast. Because as all that's going on, what I just explained, this blimp, of course, is going to be hitting this piece of scissors, pair of scissors, which will let it free. It'll eventually and slowly hit this hamster wheel. This blimp is only here because we need this to get lit over in this direction, this piece of dynamite. So if it's over here, it'll obviously not interfere with this blimp here. That blast then should, of course, make this bowling ball hit this scissors, which, well, hopefully we'll get this enough time to get the heck out of Dodge before this bomb explodes. So let's see if all of that is even half close to being true. I hope. I certainly do hope. Let's see. I'm having a feeling that we might not have enough time here. Let's... Yeah, not a whole lot. Let's see. Hopefully something like this. Let's give it a bit of a beef up here on speed. We need this magnifying glass to work with this light to really finish the deal. There we go. And, okay. I feared this, this little bit. I feared this portion. Don't think we need the gear. So what do we need to have happen? We need this jack-in-the-box to go slower? Is that an accurate thing to say? It may be. It may be, but we certainly need this generator to get powered in some shape or form. So that frees up a gear. We could probably save a gear here as well by just putting this larger gear there. That should do the same. No. That's silly. That's silly. That won't do that, of course. That won't do that, of course. We may need this large gear for something else. We may need it for something else. And I think we did not place any of these pieces here, so we obviously can't pick them back up. Can't pick them back up. So, alright. Okay. Let's just think about this for a moment. Let's just think about this for a moment. We can probably stretch one of these bands in that kind of fashion over down here somewhere. So maybe, just maybe, we can do something like this. I don't think that's going to do it for us, though. I really don't. We certainly have a lot of bands to work with now. We certainly have a lot of bands to work with. But I don't know what these gears are going to do for us now, so I think we're maybe screwing things up for ourselves. Yeah, I mean, that didn't help. That actually hurt us because it's obviously taking... That obviously is happening too soon. The Jack-in-the-Box was getting triggered, of course, way too soon. However, something like this will certainly help that. But does that give us enough time to do everything else? The motor's now facing the wrong way because we got rid of all the gears that it was hooked up to. Alright, so I think we're still on track with most everything else. Oh my goodness gracious, we finally got it, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got it. So, the difference there was we needed more time for this Jack-in-the-Box. We needed to delay the Jack-in-the-Box because we needed to allow time for this dynamite stick to come over to this angle, blow the cannonball over here, and our blimps don't move that quickly, so of course we needed to give it a couple extra seconds just to move on to the left and get out of dodge. Hooking up, of course, these two gears right here. As the small gear turns, the bigger gear turns slower. So that bought us enough time to delay the Jack-in-the-Box just that couple extra seconds before it hit the teeter-totter and lit the bomb. So I don't know how we have two pieces left over, but we do. There may be some excess in my puzzle here. It might not be the most efficient, but let's take a look at that one more time. This puzzle took about a half an hour, so it really did take a lot of thought to even get this far. So here comes the other blimp to hit the middle hamster wheel. That, of course, gets the piece of dynamite over there and also triggers the Jack-in-the-Box at the same time, but it buys it enough time that the corner blimp in the top right corner also survives. So, well, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, my head is spinning a little bit just because I've been going over this puzzle for probably almost another 40 minutes. So Yet again, I'm going to go to the more puzzle section because yet again, the I like a challenge category. If you're looking for a challenge, folks, this is certainly giving it to me. So that's 2 episodes in a row where the puzzles are really giving me a run for my money. But now that we've finally finished that puzzle, there is obviously... I'm saying the word obviously way too much. There's a sense of satisfaction to complete something after working on it for so long. So my apologies for not even being super hyped about it, but whew, I'm just happy to complete the puzzle. And what was the name of that one again? Goodness gracious. Where were we? I think we were, yes, aerial counter combat. Well, between aerial counter combat and kitty captive, I think I'm growing some gray hairs, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Bobby G, and like always, thanks for watching.